Big Al. God damn it.
Yes, what about Big Al?
It's not going to be big. It's not going to be big after Georgia goes through with them.
Oh, boy. I'm really excited to talk about that.
Rein it in. Rein it in.
But let's talk about fantasy football, shall we? Ryan is not here with me. Welcome to the Cigar City Sports Podcast, by the way. We don't have Ryan today, but we got Nello. How you doing, Nello?
What's up, guys? I missed everybody so much. I hope everybody had a lot of turkey because I did.
Yeah. Mr. Clay, how about you?
I'm doing phenomenal.
So glad to hear that.
Really so glad. It's all about the attitude. Fantasy football, I want to lead this off before y'all get into some very hot topics. I just want to get my piece in real quick because I've been down in the dumps.
Yeah.
Down in the dumps.
But my team's getting healthy slowly. Had a little setback with DeAndre Swift, but team's coming back. Got destroyed 2 weeks ago by Team Crowning Shield, best team in the league, destroyed. But as I'm slowly getting my boys back, I squeaked it out, 111 to 109 victory this past week. And this week, it's about to go down.
I trounced the HNIC. It was not a close game.
Ouchies, that was bad.
And he was at 62 points before Taylor Heineke came and lit it up for 10. But I'm really sad he's not here to relish in this.
Well, 2 weeks ago, don't forget we didn't record last week. 2 weeks ago, this guy right here, I believe, trounced HNIC.
Trounced is the correct words, like stampeded, like multiple trouncings.
Like 179?
Like the cops should have
like
came and
179 to double digits.
It's like a 72 to 179. Let's pull that up, actually. I had forgotten about that.
So where are we at right now?
176 to 89.
Ouchies.
Almost double.
I tell you what, though, friggin' Crowning Shield, I put up 110, and it wasn't even good enough. 147. And I want to say, Mr. Crowning Shield, not nice. Not good at all.
I'm playing him this week.
And you need that W.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
By the way,
strong team.
Update. We're not doing 4 teams in the playoffs. We're doing 6. That was the agreed thing in the beginning of the season, but I thought I'd change it, but I didn't. But now it's 6 seeds.
Did you change it in the?
I did.
Okay.
So your season's not over yet.
But the one thing I am excited about is that he won't have Christian McCaffrey.
He didn't need him. 147, and he didn't need him.
He's not strong. He's strong. It's a strong team. I mean, he's the shoe-in for the championship.
Well, I mean, let's shoe in.
Any given week,
he's still got to beat me again. He's going to have to beat me again, and we'll see what happens.
Playoffs. Anyway.
But this Devontae Smith BS between you and him.
That's right. Yes. That happened after the Tampa Bay Lightning beat the holy hell out of the Flyers. I just started cackling walking down this downtown streets of Tampa. And my wife's like, what's going on? I was like, I just got a trade for Devontae Smith.
The tears are still rolling after that, by the way.
Oh, God. So good. I loved it.
Right. But I got Pollard for you. Like I told you, hey, I got Tony Pollard for you. Just trade me anybody.
He beats me on the waiver wire for somebody he knows I'm going for and then says, I got him for you. Give me Michael Pittman.
I did. It was for you. I made sure nobody else could pick him up. Only you.
Not even me.
I just don't grasp the mindset there.
I don't either.
It's just, hey, let's take the long way around. Let's take the long way around, we
still traded.
Instead of letting me get who I wanted and possibly not, you got who I wanted and then asked for somebody who's actually contributed to my team.
Right, but you have 4 wide receivers.
Sounds to me like a waiver wire shark.
And let me tell you something.
Yeah, waiver wire shark for sure. Especially because I've been saying it every week that I was ready for Pollard. Hey, Ryan, drop Pollard. He finally does it. And who swoops in? Nello, out of the kindness of his heart.
I was all thinking about you.
Yeah, bullshit.
Because if somebody else gets him and they don't want to trade him to you, I would feel sad and upset on the inside.
I feel so bad now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're sitting across the table with all this stuff that you've made possible for this, and You're looking at the guy that draft sharked you on, on a couple
what
of
rounds.
What are you
talking about? It's not
and then this guy that waiver wire sharked you.
Yeah.
Man, cutthroat. This league's just, cutthroat.
We still made the deal, and he got Devontae for nothing.
When I would have much rather had Michael Pittman on the team, but I want insurance for my best player, which
is going to pay off this week.
It very well might. If Zeke doesn't strap up, then sure, Pollard is a shoe-in, and he's one of the best picks in the league if he's in.
And somebody is going to back a Brinks truck to him next year when he's a free agent. He ain't staying in Dallas.
No.
Someone's going to be like, how much money will it take? How many zeros? Sign him.
Yep. And he will come in and be a day one starter for somebody.
I mean, did you guys see that return on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
He's fast.
And he's been out producing Eazy-E too.
No, he hasn't. I'll tell you that with great confidence. You just think that because you don't like Zeke because he beats the hell out of your birds.
Did you just throw that out there out of nowhere?
If you look...
No, he's not.
If you look at the overall touches,
you just toss that up to see if it lands.
Yeah,
like what?
Threw it against the wall.
I just don't think Eazy-E is worth the extension he just signed either.
All right,
I think that's a lot of money.
Okay, we know that
still doesn't change reality,
right?
Just saying. I think Pollard with the small amount that we got has always shown game time, game in and game out.
You're also this is one of those things you're talking about,
and that's why I got him for you. And this is,
his eyes are brown, ladies and gentlemen. He is full of shit on that one.
I got Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah,
it was a great trade
good
for me.
for you. Somebody who couldn't contribute to my team anymore because I had Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, and Mike Evans back.
You didn't need him.
So that's why I didn't need him. So I traded him for somebody else to sit on my bench who's somebody who's very dear to your heart. So it was a win-win.
That's dirty. And I had gone to Crowning Shield before you, and I was like, hey, what's up? Let me get Devontae. For literally a whole week. I'm like, I know the trade deadline's coming. I need to do this now.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. You didn't like my offer, so I'm going to ask everybody else if they want him. And then if anybody wants him, they get first dibs. And I was like, oh, you're dirty.
And he delivered on that promise.
Delivered legitimately.
Yeah. So.
It's okay. He'll be dropped. You're going to drop him.
I'm not dropping him. Oh, Devontae?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll drop him for sure. Last week, though, that was a good week. Good week of football. The Thanksgiving week. And a lot of great games divisionally. Great win by the Bucs as well. Let's dive right in.
Hold on.
Chicago and Detroit. I tell you what I won't do the rest of the year. Pick Detroit. I have tried to have my hopes up so much for them every week, and they have found a way to disappoint.
Are they doing it on purpose now?
But their time's coming at some point.
But are they losing on purpose to get the number one pick?
No, they're not losing.
At this point, they don't have to work hard. They're at the point where winning a game won't hurt those odds.
They've just lost by so little, so much.
Yeah. And in this one, they had the game won. Done for.
Yeah.
And then they had all those penalties back to back to back to back to back to back.
3rd and 9 became 3rd and 4 when they called 2 timeouts back to back.
Yeah.
What? That's like coaching 101. That's like high school coaching.
Two back timeouts.
Cost them 5 yards.
At this point, I don't have any fear for my kneecaps, Mr. Campbell. You have got to be so full on kneecaps at this point.
Here's the thing, though, right? So the Bears won by a kick, but your kicker's been missing all year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sit on the ball and kneel for that 1 minute and a half when you're on the 2, or do you try to score the touchdown?
I always try to score the touchdown. Still run my offense.
That's what I thought. Yeah. I didn't like the Matt Nagy's decision at that point in time. I figured you go for it. You're right there yourself. A minute, and he had timeouts. Banking on your kicker to make a kick from that close.
All I know
with David Montgomery playing as good as he does.
That was just a bad game. Las Vegas also streaking, kicking ass. Came back and won in overtime.
That's a lot of penalties, though.
Yeah.
All those PI penalties.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like at that point, like David Carr's like, I'm just going to throw it up and hope you get touched. Like, that's Vegas' game plan.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And, well, Waller was hurt, too. Came out, didn't put his pads back on. That's another thing to keep an eye on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, every announcer in the league is like, oh, gosh, we can't go without Darren Waller. I don't know.
He is a top 3 tight end.
No, I know he's a top 3 tight end. It's what, him, Travis Kelce, Gronk,
Kittle. Although he's not having the greatest year, but Kittle is still top 3.
How can he be top 3?
I don't know. I'd say
I'm putting Mark Andrews
Yeah.
and I'm putting Travis Kelce in the number 1 spot still because nobody's usurped him, and maybe Waller at 3rd or maybe Gronk. Gronk has been that productive.
Definitely Waller ahead of Gronk. I think so.
Yeah, I would have to agree there. I would think that maybe Gronk could be top 5.
Gronk just put up
3,
9
Andrews
catches for 123 yards last week. So
yeah, but Waller's been steady all year. Waller's big,
and like
steady
last year,
big. Like he's a wide receiver. Like he's who the Falcons are hoping Kyle Pitts
will be.
becomes.
Damn, good one. Good
like that
one.
is that. He is big time. Like I'd love to see the stat line. I mean, I know Gronk's missed multiple games and all, but
Gronk was 3rd in receiving yards, period, this week. First, shout out to Jalen Waddle, the former Alabama
great game
Crimson Tide. I don't know. Gronk's doing really well.
He is, no doubt about it.
I'm trying to look for entire season stats.
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
it's just Waller.
But Gronk's stats are going to be skewed because of injury time. But when Gronk's there, he's a security blanket. He knows what's up. But is that just because of the familiarity between him and Brady? Like those guys could play eyes wide shut and still
possibly
connect.
In terms of receiving yards, however, so far this season is Travis Kelce is ahead of everybody.
Yeah. But that's when they started winning. This is when they started throwing it back to Kelce.
Then you got Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the next tight end, you will not believe who it is. It's it is Mr. Kyle Pitts himself.
That's the only people that are catching the ball.
Season stats of NFL yards. Kyle Pitts is number 3.
That shows you how lackluster Falcons football's been.
After that, Mike Gesicki. Dude, I'm telling you, I know we like Darren Waller, but I'm not seeing him on this list.
He got 19 targets one game, and I think 22 on the next.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is every Raiders game?
Oh, Darren Waller was after Kyle Pitts. I apologize.
Okay, all right. I was about to say
right after Kyle Pitts, and then after him is Mike
every
Gesicki.
Raiders game I watch is just like Waller, incomplete pass to Waller. Waller.
No Ruggs, Waller. Like, I mean,
yeah,
he's literally getting every throw.
So,
but not now. Djax has been blowing up over the top.
That was a tough game for the Cowboys too. I think they're going to bounce back.
Overrated.
Just like the Eagles.
Eagles can't be over. Whatever.
They lost to New York. All
right, let's talk about this.
And let's talk about who else the Eagles have lost to.
Okay, but real quick, before we do that, this loss in New York, I get it. Jalen looked like complete hot dog crap. Understood. But you can't put it on Jalen if the receivers aren't catching the ball. This glorified punt returner, Howie, drafted in the 1st round over Justin Jefferson. Good job, Howie. Way to go.
Wait, you sent us a list of all the wide receivers that they took over Jalen Yeager, or they took Jalen Yeager over them.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
Let me see if I can find it.
Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Michael Pittman Jr., Chase Claypool, Brandon Ayuk.
Ayuk hasn't necessarily lit my heart on fire.
He's done a lot better than Rager because he can at least catch the ball.
Hot and cold's quarterback situation.
Yeah.
You got to catch the ball. You got to. That's your job. You can't get targeted 7 times a game because management upstairs, because Howie and Lurie are telling you, get to him the ball.
You ever see Moneyball?
Yes.
You can't exactly do that.
I want you to know.
Fire Howie today.
I love that you just said that because I fall asleep to that movie most nights. I love the movie. There are nights, seriously, most every night. I'll put it on. Sometimes I just get locked in. I don't know if it's just because Brad Pitt just nails Billy Bean and just does an amazing job, or if it's, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Jonah Hill.
Of all the movies. And yeah, Jonah Hill, of all the movies, though, it's a good one.
Yeah. You can't do that. And like we lost to the Giants. We looked like crap. Jalen Hurts looked like crap.
Because you guys were in
because he's not that guy, pal. He's not that guy.
No, man, that's not true. I don't want him to go get Russell Wilson. I don't want him to waste a draft pick on these retread QBs. Give him another year. Who cares? We're not going to win anyway.
No,
it's not like we're close to winning.
That guy. They know.
Let's give him another year. I don't think he's that bad. I don't think he's that bad.
I just feel bad for the teams that have to draft a quarterback out of this class.
100%.
The Buccaneers got so dang lucky to draft the quarterback of the future in Kyle Trask.
Wow,
the way that they did.
Steep.
You don't spend that pick on Kyle Trask in the second round.
So my Jalen Hurts argument completely backed up by the Kyle Trask.
They're two different quarterbacks, but sure.
Let's see. We are drafting Kyle Trask to sit behind Tom Brady
for easily 3 years.
No, this is his last year.
Huh.
Well, it was his last year though, right?
That should.
I don't think he
should do a good job.
Yeah.
Let's look back.
I don't think
Brett
he's the guy.
Favre, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good one.
But that wasn't just 1 year.
That's what we're talking about.
I don't think a year is enough.
Brady, what do you think?
Kyle
Brady's
Trask
gone after this year?
Yeah,
I think Brady retires.
That's what he just said. Brady's gonna. No, that's not gonna happen.
No.
Okay.
If we don't, I think we got a better chance of him retiring after this.
I do think Brady
if he wins the Super Bowl this year. If he wins the Super Bowl, there's a higher probability he'll be out of here. If he loses, he's like, no, I can still do it.
He'll still come back even if he wins.
I think
he's about to fill the fingers.
Oh yeah,
all of them.
10.
All of them.
He needs three more.
If they win back to back, listen,
3 more.
This is crazy to talk about as if it's going to happen, but if they did, think about that. Plays next year, still in great shape, doing a good job, and gets it. What if
he needs 3 more?
What
He'd
if
be 47?
What if
47? No way. He's not getting 10.
That would be wild. He would. I would say if he did that, he'd have to have done
next year, 100%.
I don't think so.
100%.
I think you're wrong, buddy. I don't think he's quitting.
I don't think he gets 10.
I don't think he gets 10 either.
Oh, hell no. All we're talking about is regardless of if they win the Super Bowl or not, he's back next year. That's the point I'm making.
I don't
he's
think so.
back next year. Winning the Super Bowl is inconsequential because that would just make him want to do it again more.
Right.
What if you three-peat? Holy shit.
I mean,
at that point, he could get a statue in any city he wanted in America.
At that point, Brady is retiring as a Buccaneer.
If they three-peated, he hops Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
That's that.
If he hasn't already.
That's that.
If he hasn't already, is an excellent question.
That's a very odd conversation to have because there's two totally different sports and all, but from the outside looking
the only
in.
thing keeping Michael Jordan off of any list as not being the GOAT is the fact that he never lost an NBA final. So if you really wanted to measure that, you could just say, well, Jordan's never lost when it counted.
How many times did he go?
Oh.
Because Brady's been 9 times.
And he's lost 3?
He's lost 2.
Oh. And
both
who was
to the
one
Giants.
of them?
Oh, the Eagles and the Giants.
Oh, so it is 3, huh?
I saw this coming.
It's 2.
A minute ago.
Yeah.
He went to 3. He went 2 losses to the Giants and 1 to the Eagles.
Don't forget the Eagles.
He did lose to the Eagles.
Yeah, he did. I know. I wish.
Not
I was
as
there.
a Buccaneer, he hasn't.
I don't give a damn.
Not as a Buccaneer, he hasn't.
In Tom Brady's history, it will be lost to the Eagles in the Super Bowl forever.
Not as my quarterback.
That's all that matters. I don't care.
Anyway. Buccaneers, though, let's talk about that game. Or do we want to touch on some more? Let's touch on the fact that Aaron Rodgers absolutely owned the Rams.
Ouch. Did you see that pump fake?
Which one? There were probably
2 of them.
For a couple. Oh, when he was running, you mean? Oh, yeah. He's known for that.
Solid. Dude, Jalen Ramsey was so geeked out. He had no idea what he was doing. With a broken toe, apparently.
Yeah.
He's tough.
Yeah, he really is. And he just doesn't need it. He doesn't need to drive off that back leg like a lot of quarterbacks do.
Oh, he does that. He does that damn elbow thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there you go, 40 yards in the air.
That offense did
I flicked it.
He just flicks it. Yeah, it's crazy.
The big question in this game is everybody had crowned the Rams preseason as the Super Bowl champions or that were going to
no, they didn't.
The only team that was going to beat the Bucs in the championship was them because they were building this roster.
For sure, they were building an excellent roster, but we also all called the Titans getting Julio and saying we were crowning them in this show.
But that's injury related.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. That's who we were crowning.
But the Rams isn't injury related. They just don't look good.
Right. They don't look good.
What do you think the problem is? Is McVay maybe not the issue? Is it the defense that's just not playing to its potential? What's the situation over there?
I don't know what it is, but somewhere along the lines, Stafford has started to decline. I don't know if it's just NFL defenses picking up on it quickly or something going on with him personally, but I just think that it's been him to slowly decline and the defense isn't able to keep up.
I'm still Team Stafford.
I mean,
me too. I think they're great, but they're not going to win the Super Bowl.
I actually think it's that defense is underperforming. You bring in Von Miller, you still have Ramsey Donald. I just don't think the defense is doing it on an overall.
Yeah.
They're getting scored on too much compared to the Rams of old.
Don't they have Marcus Peters too?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know who's across.
No
from
excuse.
Him. No, none at all.
No
excuse. I mean, you went all in for Von Miller. You gave up basically everything you had left.
And you got, like you said, you got Ramsey and Aaron Donald.
And you bring in Beckham. I get Wood's injury is bad for the offense, but you still brought in Beckham Jr.,
who got a 52-yard touchdown.
Yeah,
by the
and
way.
you found another diamond in the rough in Van Jefferson,
who dropped 7 balls that night.
But when he catches,
they called his name 9 times. He only caught it twice. I was sitting there like, damn, I have never seen a receiver drop this many balls in a game.
Watch Jalen Reagor. He's targeted 7 times against the Giants, and literally the last play of the game, he does this. Does that
those in audio land can see you cross your arms like an idiot.
I'm just saying.
Hey, let's talk about the Cardinals.
Damn Jalen Reagor.
Where were they early in the year? When like preseason, they weren't on my radar.
They weren't on my radar at all. DeAndre Hopkins, I never sleep on him, but Kyler Murray's the one who's really changed everything for me.
It was that defense, if you think about it. That defense
solid. Defense definitely solid.
And Chandler, who didn't get paid, and they came in and paid J.J. Watt, and he asked for a trade, but they didn't let him go. They figured it out. I don't know. But then you got J.J. Watt, who got paid, who's been injured, and he's gone for the year. J.J., talking about people who should be done.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger's one, but J.J. Watt, before Ben Roethlisberger, needs to call it a day.
What if I think he just works out too much.
No.
He's too big. When McNabb went out and bulked up that big, he had a hernia. He had a sports hernia. He tore his abdomen. So maybe he's too big. What if he changed his game just a little bit instead of being all power, just added a finesse move?
He's not all power. That's what makes him J.J. Watt.
I mean,
he's got explosiveness, but he's not bull rushing everyone.
He's definitely more power than TJ.
I don't even know about that. That's 2 different approaches too.
Yeah.
But TJ's gone on the COVID list right now too.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Nothing. Injuries happen, especially this year. A lot of big names.
That's a huge name to be out of this rivalry game they got this upcoming week too.
For sure.
But the Steelers, except for last week, the Steelers defense has been proven to be there
until the Bengals showed up.
What a shellacking.
Dominating the best division in football right now, AFC North.
I mean, they just didn't skip a beat.
No.
They couldn't stop Mixon. They couldn't stop Higgins. They couldn't stop Burrow. That defense, the Cincinnati Bengals defense, is not getting enough credit overall.
That's what I was saying to a coworker today. I was like, the Bengals are where they are because their defense is so stout right now.
That linebacker kid is amazing. He is wherever the ball is.
Yeah. There's a couple of those in the league right now. This is a really good time for really talented young linebackers in the NFL.
But is it because...
we got Micah Parsons. We got Devin White. We got Patrick Queen. There's a lot of really, really good linebackers right now in the league that can play sideline to sideline. That kid, Fred Thomas, who's the guy from 49ers?
Oh, the guy who just got paid?
Yeah. And Darius Leonard.
Darius Leonard is probably one of the best middle linebackers in the league.
He's not better than Devin White, but he's really stinking good.
But is that because there's so few good ones because the rest are just mediocre at best?
These are,
you know what I'm saying?
But these are all
the Eagles
really
don't
young
have a
playmakers.
Linebacker core. We don't know what a linebacker is. We never have. So I don't know what that's like to have a Devin White.
Yeah. Well, we've had a Devin White, and before we had Devin White, we had a Levante David.
Yeah, it's very nice.
We are linebacker spoiled in Tampa. Honestly,
for sure.
For the history of our franchise, We've had some really, really stout linebackers.
Absolutely. And
Always
who's your favorite player?
Imagine
Mr. Derek Brooks.
Stout linebacker core, number 1 rush defense. Imagine that.
Yeah.
That usually comes hand in hand.
And which this week we were able to absolutely stuff Jonathan Taylor.
I still don't think they used him enough.
I think
they knew
their
they definitely
offensive
used it properly.
I think their offensive coordinator looked at our defense and said, "Oh, they're the number 1 rush stopping defense. Let's try something else."
I was strolling through Twitter, and somebody made a good point that the problem the Bucs are having is they've got that great defense. So all these teams the last few weeks have been coming out throwing a lot to their receivers, more than they normally do, and not just trying to run the ball.
Well, because if you're going to beat the Bucs, you need to throw the ball. That's just how it works.
Especially with Vita Vea in the middle.
So people are obviously talking about this, and then the Colts come out and they don't throw to Jonathan; they just run Jonathan Taylor.
But they didn't really run him that much. It was really the Carson Wentz show last Sunday.
Get him out in space.
He threw 50 times.
Get him out in the space and throw the ball, man. He'll make it happen.
I still believe that they're saving Jonathan Taylor for when they need him.
I think the Colts beat themselves, and that's my opinion.
I think we did a lot to come back in that game because we went up 38, and that was when we were up by 2 touchdowns. Don't forget.
That interception, the receiver he got, he was 6'4". He's 5'9".
Yeah.
I just think the Colts beat themselves.
So, Wentz went 27 for 44, 300 yards, 306 yards. That's great. 3 touchdowns, but 2 picks.
Yeah.
He got sacked a lot and gave up the ball a lot.
There's a lot of fumbles, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, and
but
don't discount the Bucs. Fournette went for 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, Fournette had a game.
Gronk went for 123 yards through the air. Evans caught a touchdown. Don't say that was purely on the Colts giving up the game. That's just not true.
Fournette was bulldozing people.
Yeah. I mean, we went up and we went up pretty handsomely. So it was good. It was a good game. It was one game I was really worried about for us at the beginning of the year. I said, this is a trap game. The Bucs will probably lose this game to the Colts. And I was happy to see Brady take command and complete a lot of passes, move us efficiently down the field. It really made all the difference.
But Goodwin still has fumble issues.
Who does he play for?
He plays for the Bucs, right? Goodwin? Godwin. Okay, fine.
Every time. It's every
the guy,
week.
The national announcer did it too.
Week out.
The announcer on national television did it too.
We do this every week.
He did it too. What do you want from me?
Godwin coughed up the ball this week.
He did.
Yeah.
He got punched out by Darius Leonard.
Beast linebacker.
Speaking of Godwin, where's he going to go next year?
New England. Here he comes.
I don't see that.
Okay.
I had a scary thought. You want a scary thought in your mind?
Mm-hmm.
What if he went to Green Bay and Devontae Adams and Chris Godwin with Aaron Jones being thrown the ball by Aaron Rodgers?
Well, you're assuming Rodgers stays.
I think the Packers have done more than enough to bring him back, give him their confidence. I think there's been a lot of closed-door conversations that have been had. If he still wanted to leave, I don't think he'd be playing the way he's playing.
He wants to go to the West Coast, and I think he goes to Denver.
Well, I'll tell you this. They know. They have a pretty good idea if he's coming back.
Yeah.
So if they took Godwin, that would probably be the bell ringer of, hey, Rodgers is sticking around.
Yeah. If Godwin does get there as a free agent, then for sure the Packers are going to say, hey, look, we got you the best receiver possible. We got you a guy who's arguably I'm not saying he's as good as Devontae Adams, but he's damn close.
Let's just say Rodgers leaves.
Yeah.
Let's say the Pack isn't in the game. Because if Rodgers leaves, Devontae's leaving, and then your whole dream case scenario just dissipates.
Why?
Well, why would he go there to get Jordan Love to throw him the ball? Why not go to New England where Mac Jones is
in this scenario, he's going there with that squad.
Right.
So if Devontae leaves with Aaron, which I don't know what team in the NFL can afford that, but
no, if he just leaves to another team, like he doesn't follow Aaron, but he just leaves with no Aaron. Gotcha. You know what I mean? No Aaron in Green Bay. Do you really stay in Green Bay for Jordan Love?
No, not at all.
There you go. So Goodwin goes.
But let me tell you something. Matt LaFleur is not going to be a loser. They got DeAndre Hopkins and
Christian Kirk,
AJ Green.
Christian Kirk.
Could they afford him? I'm saying. Do they have that?
Probably.
Talk about him.
You know who else could get him?
AJ Green's on his way out.
They have Christian Kirk and they have Rondell Moore. They'll be fine.
Pittsburgh could take him. You imagine that? But they can't afford to keep Juju right now. So I guess they're not in the conversation either.
I don't think he'd want to go to
Did you hear
Pittsburgh.
about Tomlin talking about how Claypool said, let's play music during the practice to keep it fun?
I think I would decline Pittsburgh if they offered.
There's no quarterback there either. You know Big Ben's done.
It'd have to be a big old payday with a lot of guaranteed money.
But New England makes sense because it's the type of routes Belichick loves to run, and he's got a good quarterback that can get them the ball.
Let's talk about that good quarterback. Nobody saw this coming. I've been talking about this the last couple of weeks watching football. Dallas is prime time, so we get to see them a lot. And I always say this exact thing. Micah Parsons is the best fit for the team that drafted him and made the biggest impact, not named Mac Jones.
Yeah, but that's because
Among all
the
rookies.
utility of Micah Parsons being able to play defensive end when Gregory and the other guy went down too.
Yeah, he can play any position on that defense.
For sure.
He could play slot corner. He's that good.
They actually have said that.
But Mac Jones, nobody expected this out of Mac Jones.
Not this. I expected him to do pretty. I expect him to do okay.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is good. Give him some time.
Yeah.
But
He has looked stellar.
He's shining.
It's really wild to see Mac Jones do that well and be leading this team right back to relevance. So, I mean, part of it is it because the conversation when Brady left was it Brady or was it Belichick? Brady wins the Super Bowl. They're like, clearly it's Belichick is the problem.
And then he brings in Mac
And
Jones.
then Mac comes in, and
you
he's
see
successful with Mac. So then it's like, well, I guess could have been a little bit of both. Or is Mac Jones the best quarterback to have come out of Alabama yet?
That's still to be written.
So out of the gate, as far as production in the NFL, first in a very long time.
Yeah, I'll agree
right
with
out
that.
of the gate.
I'll agree with
He's
that.
putting up strong numbers.
If those numbers
for
persist, what he's putting up now, he's going to have one hell of a career.
Yeah.
He could be the youngest Super Bowl winner ever.
That would not surprise me. The amount of cool and calm and collection that kid has.
But there's a lot that New England's got to do around him in the next 2 years.
And New England's defense has been balling.
Have you
lately.
seen that defense lately?
I've
That
seen that
defense is playing
I've
some
seen
amazing
that defense
Belichick
for the
defense.
last 4 years. They've been brutal.
But in the beginning of the season, they look terrible.
I understand they have ups and downs.
They
but
looked
overall,
terrible with their
for like
leader, Cam Newton.
Four
Yeah.
years straight, they have been killing it on D.
And
Overall, you have your ups and downs, peaks and valleys.
if the running game keeps clicking like it does with Stevenson and Damian Harris,
Yeah.
and Mac Jones doesn't have to be asked to do too much, that team can make a run for the
Hey,
Super
you
Bowl.
want to know what's crazy? Mac Jones and Damian Harris. What do they have in common?
I don't know. You tell me.
They're both national champions.
Look at that crimson helmet right there on the shelf.
I
next
just
to
knew
you.
that was
And
gonna
look
happen.
at that.
I
Look
just
at
knew
that
it.
elephant.
I knew it. Yep.
That
Go ahead.
elephant right there. His name's Big Al.
They've also got a certain Dante Hightower who went to the University of Alabama.
On the other side of the ball.
Also, one of the winningest linebackers to come out of the school ever.
Talk about beast linebackers.
And if I'm
That's
not
one of them.
mistaken, he didn't play last year, so he's
No.
fresh.
Yeah.
And he's like that defense is made. They can make a run for the Super Bowl. They can stop Lamar Jackson.
He will-
Imagine if they still had stuff on Gilmore.
He will quietly
But
go
that's proven
down
that
in
Belichick
history.
won that too, because Gilmore hasn't been that great in Carolina either.
Yeah. I still think he's going to come to Tampa after he's done with Carolina this year.
That's assuming Tom Brady stays.
No, it's not. He went and liked that entire defense the day he was released. He was going to come to Tampa. Belichick definitely won that, sending him to Carolina, because Carolina was not going to be relevant.
If this plays out, we got to mark this.
I mean, speaking of Carolina,
if you're
of
right
Carolina,
on this, it would be like, let's talk a little bit about. I know you don't gamble, but let's get into this spread situation. What you think here?
I mean, let's talk about this Carolina Dolphins game for a second. The
Yeah.
Dolphins have turned it around. Went from 1-7 to now winning 4 games in a row.
Yeah. With Tua Tagovailoa at the quarterback position.
And they've been playing some pretty stout opponents.
Is Tua burning it up though? I mean, that defense has been strong.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
but then when they're here in Tampa, we absolutely walk through them.
Yeah, but I mean, you look, he's got it pretty easy. You know what I mean? The defense is holding up their end of the deal and then some.
Yeah.
I think. I still don't.
So
it's lackluster.
They beat the Jets and they beat the Texans, which are okay.
So you said they've lit it up against really good teams.
They beat the Ravens.
Found out it was the Jets.
They beat
and
the Ravens.
Texans.
They beat the Ravens.
Oh my god!
They beat the Ravens and put the game plan out on how to stop Lamar. And then they beat a Panthers team, which wasn't.
Tua's lackluster.
I'm back.
The offense is lackluster. That defense has stepped up. That's all it is. But it's not.
They beat Baltimore.
Who wins?
Tua's not that guy. They're not going.
Oh, the Patriots. I think the Bills are pretenders. I'm sorry.
You know, and it's really odd that I completely agree.
I'd have called you dumb
and I picked the Bills preseason.
4 or 5 weeks ago.
I picked the Bills preseason.
So did I.
Yeah, so did I. Me too. I kind of agree with you. That's kind of weird. Feels weird.
Yeah. What other games we got to cover about this one? Baltimore, Cleveland, stink fest. Really,
that was boring. Both teams look bad.
Not a great one.
But Baker's playing with silly putty.
he is messed up.
Play-Doh
right
putting him together. Knee, ankle, shoulder.
How about Lamar Jackson?
Lamar 4 interceptions.
Hey, how about his response though? He's like, "That's on me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be burning it up."
I mean, if Mark Andrews doesn't catch that touchdown,
yeah. And how about that one? He was 40 yards down the field and caught it one-handed falling down. That guy's crazy. All right, let's take a quick break. Then we'll get into our picks for next week, and we'll talk about a couple of playoff scenarios. Yeah. All right, we'll be right back. And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cigar City Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, the music.
I'm not falling for it, man.
Nello didn't know what to do with it.
I didn't know what to do.
No, he was just like, what the fuck?
No, you always complain about me hitting it in the music. This time I didn't do it.
You always
I knew
do.
that. You tried to Rogers pump fake me and it just didn't work.
Oh, gosh. Let's get into these picks for this week.
Let's do it.
Yeah. This is going to be a good one. I need to, if anything is, if my picking trend is starting to increase. 2 weeks ago when we weren't here, Clay and I were looking at it. I dominated. I think I had, how many games right? 12?
I don't remember the past. I moved to the future.
But last week?
Yes.
Oh
12.
my God, I was terrible. So we'll see. If I'm trending up, then that means this week I'll be perfect. It means whoever I pick to win this week, you pick too, okay?
Okay. I'll pick the same team.
All right. So let's get into it.
Yes.
Thursday.
Thursday night, the Dallas overrated Cowgirls versus the New Orleans Saints.
The Dallas in the lead in the NFC East.
That's not saying much.
Cowboys.
So Jack, is that Dallas?
Yeah, that's Dallas.
Okay. Nello?
I'll take Saints with Taysom Hill at under center.
Wow. I feel so much more confident in my pick now.
Taysom Hill's going to play quarterback.
Crazy? You know what's crazy is I felt so less confident because I took the Saints. And that's the effect Nello has on this.
The Cowboys are going.
Oh, I don't know, man. I think
this
this is that trap game we like to talk about.
No, they're getting Amari Cooper back. There's probably a chance
Is he coming back?
Yeah, he's confirmed back.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. It was on the scroller earlier.
Before I looked at either way, the Saints are going to win.
All right.
It's too much of a skid. It's at home.
Amari Cooper.
Taysom's
What about
coming.
CeeDee Lamb? I mean,
not
Ezekiel
gonna
Elliott's
play.
definitely playing. Yes, he is. Oh, CeeDee Lamb might
CD
not.
might not play, and there's rumors that they might rest Eazy-E too and just start Pollard.
That's not going to happen.
Well, what does it matter?
bet
You have
those-
both.
If they do start Pollard, then that goes to your argument that Pollard's the more dangerous running back.
I can guarantee you that those rumors came from your head.
I'm telling you. Go look it up.
All right.
Hey, how about these Eagles, Jets?
There's no way the Eagles lose to the fucking Jets.
They just lost to a team in New York.
I don't care. That's a rival.
with
It's different.
similar standards.
There is no way we lose to the fucking Jets.
I'm picking the
telling you.
Eagles.
What-
You'll
Picking
be
the Eagles,
surprised
too.
if
What?
they
No
lose.
way.
What happens if the Jets pull this out, Mister? There's no way we lose to the Jets. Do you just skip an episode?
I might.
I
I might. I'm not even playing with you. I might. I ain't. No, I will. I will not be. There is no way I will live through that. You're going to sit
right there in your special Nello seat.
You're going to like it.
And you're going to take that shit. But I don't think they're going to lose this week.
We just need to bench Jalen Reagor. Just bench him.
One wide receiver is
bench him.
Golly. I'm definitely taking the Eagles. I mean, you guys better win that game.
I will never. I don't know.
Yeah, for your own safety.
I might I might start burning Eagles gear if they lose to the Jets.
And then we've got Arizona Cardinals going into Soldier Field.
I mean, right?
I mean, Red Rocket is the quarterback at Chicagoland right now, right?
It doesn't matter. If he's playing and Hopkins is back after a bye week, I'll take the Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the Cardinals too, I'm just saying. Yeah. And the Dalton effect in Chicago.
Here's an interesting one. You've got your Houston Texans going against your Indianapolis Colts, led by a very good Carson Wentz.
Oh, okay. Still Carson Wentz of old, throwing interceptions and some bad decision-making and fumbling the ball.
So that means you're taking the Texans?
I'm not taking the Texans. I don't think they have the talent overall, but say Carson Wentz, I'll just take the Colts. I'll just leave it at that.
So you're on the Carson Wentz bandwagon once again.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Colts. I mean, I think they're an excellent team.
I mean, they're going to win this game.
Yeah.
Chargers Bengals in Cincinnati. Woof.
Now this is a tough game. This is probably game of the week for me. Looking at the schedule, looking at who's playing who, there's only one other game, maybe two that I'm looking at that are going to be as good as this. But I think the Bengals being at home in that weather, bringing in the California boy in Justin Herbert from, bringing in the Chargers, I definitely favor the Bengals in a slugfest because they have, to me, the better running game.
Clay, what do you think?
I fully agree. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers win this.
Same.
It's who shows up, but I think since he's got a lot more weapons and they're showing up, you can't doubt that.
Yeah, they are showing up. They've got a lot of weapons.
Spreading it around, man.
But their defense, man, they're so good.
Yeah.
Give me the West Coast kid. Give me the Chargers. Herbert snaps out of this, whatever's going on with his decision-making. I think the corners might start coming back healthy. I think that this game is a lot closer than everybody thinks. I understand that they whooped the Steelers' butt last week, but I think that offensively...
I agree about the closer than people think.
For sure. It's going to be a good game.
I think that the offense-wise, the Steelers just don't have the offense that the Chargers do. And Austin Eckler is playing amazing. Yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about if you look at how bad the Bengals are. How bad the Steelers were last week. I'm not taking any stock in that. I think the Steelers' offense is bad overall.
They only got one weapon.
The Chargers,
It's tough.
And I think the Chargers' offense is way better than that. And if those corners come back healthy, it's going to be a lot closer. Give me the Chargers.
All right.
Ooh.
This is, I think, the severe beating.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus those pesky Falcons.
And that's the thing. They haven't even been pesky. Like they don't scare me right now. I was talking about this before we press record. Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, those are the guys we're used to getting absolutely whooped by. Out on the outside, they had their way with us, courtesy of Matty Ice. Now it's going to be a good game. I don't think we absolutely blow them out. I think it's going to be interesting. But the way that they traditionally beat us is not an option for them right now. They're not going to have that wide receiver one to run up and down on our secondary.
I'm with you. I am. I'm taking the Bucs. But, it's just,
And not to mention their big weapon that is there, Kyle Pitts. You've got Devin White for him. Beyond that, you got Antoine Winfield.
They just always seem to make it hard. That's all I'm saying.
That's what she said.
I think, and, the Bucs are going to win, but I don't know. It's just going to be I think it's going to be a stressful game.
Nice. Nello, who you got? Go, take the Falcons.
I am taking the Falcons.
I know
you're shit. No, you really are.
I am taking the Falcons. No, I said before we recorded, I like the Falcons this week in Atlanta.
I thought you were.
That defense is playing really good.
The defense in Atlanta
is playing really good.
Okay.
Matty Ice is doing fine.
Against who? Who are they playing really good against?
Cordell Patterson is doing good, amazing, both catching and running the ball. I know you guys can stop the run. I just think they're going to be a little peskier than you think. Russell Gage is catching the ball. Kyle Pitts is still there.
Wow.
It don't get no more peskier than beating us.
I'm just saying. And they always play you guys tough.
It's just not
true story. That's a fact.
That's what I'm saying.
That game in Atlanta,
that's my thing.
Wouldn't be the first time the Bucs went in Atlanta.
That's how this shit goes. You know, they're going to play tough, man. They're going to get everything because they really got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
It's one of those teams where if we win, we win. If we don't, we don't.
But I don't see the Bucs losing. I think we're going to see some more great offense out of the Bucs with a little better defense.
Agreed. I think we're starting to hit our stride for sure. We may even get AB back. That'd be crazy.
Oh yeah, I didn't think he'd be back this week. I don't know.
Anyway, how about the Giants and the Dolphins? The Giants, you've got to clearly be picking the Giants. There's no way that the Giants would lose to the measly Dolphins when they were able to collapse the mighty
Eagles.
We
get it. All right, let's
conquer the mighty
Let's
Eagles.
keep it going. Come on, the Dolphins are going to win this game. What a streak those guys have been on. Tua looks good. That defense is playing lights out.
So
Flores has got them
another
clicking
team
again.
we're putting out in front of the Eagles.
They were 1-7 and they've won 4 games in a row and are pushing themselves back into relevancy in the AFC.
I don't disagree because it's in Miami. Give me the Dolphins.
Same.
Defense is so good, and that
was an easy decision for me.
Yeah.
Mostly because of that Miami defense.
Now, the streakiest team in the NFL.
My God, the Vikings.
Versus the most consistent team in the NFL.
They have had 2 amazing games back-to-back each week. And let me tell you something. I don't know what's going on in Minnesota. They shouldn't have lost this week for sure. They couldn't get it done in the red zone.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins.
I got to agree with you, man. Give me the Minnesota Vikings, even without Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, Madison is no joke.
Yeah.
Hot waiver wire pickup if he's available in your league, which he probably isn't.
I am reluctantly taking Minnesota.
Really?
Yeah.
You think this is the one, Detroit at home, not on Thanksgiving?
Well, let's be honest. Most of their games this year have been almost wins.
No, it's not.
They've won by like 3 or less in almost half their games this season.
Yeah.
They've all been reluctant losses.
Is Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen playing?
Yeah.
Then the Vikings are going to win.
Yeah.
Well, you never know.
Here's a really tough one. I think
Jags Rams.
Lively discussion about this.
Urban Meyer's last game as a Jacksonville Jaguar head coach.
The rumor, him coming out and already saying that Notre Dame was his dream job. But I thought Ohio State was your dream job.
Florida was his dream job at one point.
Urban, I thought that was your dream job.
Do you think?
Is that just how you get hired at places, Urban? Do you walk into Kentucky Fried Chicken and say, man, being a general manager, here's my dream job?
All I'm saying is this.
Hold on. I want score predictions.
For what?
For this game.
For Rams Jacksonville?
Yeah. What? Because it's so absurd.
But
it could also go either way.
38-17, and that's just being productive.
So Nello 38-17.
The Rams defense is going to destroy.
I had 36-10.
36
Jaguars. No, I'm kidding.
The Rams. I was like, what is going on?
Naturally.
And then it pulls off.
The
and you're
Ruffles.
Just like, he's a medium. Anyway.
You had me. I thought you really were going to say Jacksonville.
I've got 45-10.
Yeah.
We're all there.
I mean, we're all on the right thing. It's just Price is Right rules now.
I'm way high on the offense. Of the Rams,
I think you're underestimating the defense of the Jags. Maybe that's why I picked the lowest, but I think they'll give them a quarter's worth of a fight.
Yeah,
and then they're just going to turn it on.
Aaron Donald's going to feast on Trevor Lawrence
for sure
because that offensive line.
I think actually though Travis Etienne missing was a big blow to them. They have a good running back. James
Robinson is really good. Why are people undercutting him every year?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Etienne being that familiarity and that pass catching option would have been a big deal. Yeah. That makes him more important to that offense when he can run and catch the ball out of the backfield.
Hey, this next one, the WTF versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
Washington the football.
Not the WFT. It's WTF.
It's Washington the fuck. Because
WTF,
did anybody see that Monday night game?
So,
I watched a lot of that.
With the kicking BS, it's Washington.
You crack me up with this shit. I love it. All right, so here's the thing. I want to lead this one because I want to hear Jack's pick and why first on this one?
Oh, on Raiders and football team?
Yes,
boy.
because you respect the Washington football team. WTF, mate?
It's WTF.
You respect that front seven the same way I do.
Big time.
They're all over the place.
Without Chase Young.
All over the place on offense.
Yeah.
Derek Carr's looking pretty good right now.
He is.
They're turning around. Renfro. We talked.
Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you got him out there for the defense, but Renfro's looking good. You got
Kenyon and Jacobs doing their thing.
Jacobs. That's what I was thinking of. Jacobs, powerful runner, can catch the ball. Kenyon Drake's good too. Both Bama boys, by the way.
Foster,
right?
yes.
What do you think?
Foster Morrow's been pretty good since Waller's been out too.
What do I think?
Yeah.
I'm still with Jonathan Allen and Landon Collins out of Alabama on that Washington football defense. That's who I'm with. You know why? And I'll say this. You're right. Carr has been streaky. He's been doing good, but he's also relied on a lot of penalties on deep passes, and I think Washington's defense is more disciplined and won't fall for stuff like that, or their defensive line will get to him because they're going to stuff the run, and if they hit Derek Carr, then they have playmakers at the next level who can do something. And here's the big difference, because the one of the things that's been good for the Raiders is Max Crosby being able to pressure the quarterback. Tyler Heineke is as slick as the last pickle in the jar. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's hard to get your hands on him.
All right.
He really is. And when he gets out, he's shown he can make quality throws on the run.
If the Raider offensive line can somewhat protect Carr, the secondary for the Redskins is suspect, and they have a lot of receivers that can beat you. Edwards is really good too.
I don't disagree.
He's been coming on. Zay Jones can get you a big play here and there.
Who on defense for the Raiders is going to do anything for you? Not named Max Crosby.
Who you got?
I'll take the Raiders.
I'm taking the Raiders.
It's going to be a sloppy, not great game, and I just think the Raiders win.
I think the Raiders have it.
I think the football team is going to find a way.
I think Derek Carr is going to put up game 1 and 2 numbers. He's going to be slinging that ball. He has to. He has to. Their backs against the wall.
We'll see.
They have to almost win out.
They are in must-win mode, and Washington is in we hope we win mode.
They still have options, but they have to win games.
I mean, that division, the AFC West, is so tight. It's one game between the first and last.
Don't sleep on Hunter Renfro. I swear to God.
No, I love Hunter
That
Renfro,
guy
even though
has the moves.
he was my worst nightmare when we played him in that national championship.
Are they like Jagger? Are those
That guy
He fakes the shit out of DBs.
And not to mention, I don't think he knows how to drop the ball. He sees somebody drop the ball, he jogs over to him on the sideline and goes, "Hey, what's that like? What's that like when you drop one? I've never done that."
Yeah, he doesn't. The only thing I hate for him is that touchdown to basically win the national championship here in Tampa against Bama. It was a nasty pick play that was not called.
No, not called at all. I hated it. It was a complete.
But he didn't drop the ball in such a big moment.
No.
The next game I have a prop bet for everybody. How many points total will be scored in Ravens Steelers? Total.
28.
Total?
28 points. That's what I got for you.
No, I'm going to put it at 4. Wow. I'm going to put it
4
at
points?
40. I'm going to put it at 40.
I was like, what?
Putting it high.
Total over. Over underline.
Total.
I would set it like, well, hold on. Let's see. If we're really talking about that, let's go.
No, I was just asking the question for fun.
I would go.
Oh, God, I want to talk about this. Sorry, we got ESPN.
40. If I was running a book, I'd do 41.5.
We got ESPN on in the background. A 5-star QB commit just committed to USC because of Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, he decommitted from Oklahoma when he left.
Yikes.
That's the kid that decommitted from Oklahoma once he announced. They lost 3 or 4 5-star recruits as soon as he...
4.
As soon as he said, I'm leaving. Oh, we're decommitting, and guess where he's going?
Yeah.
Good job, Malachi. Good luck in South
Carolina, California, Southern California.
I actually think it's going to be 26 points. I think this game is going to be disgustingly bad. Defenses are the only reason why this game's going to be
You only
there.
picked 2 points less than me.
Am I crazy? Oh, all right.
These games have been.
Yeah, you're crazy, man.
These games have been statistically low scoring every time.
I feel like I've been taking crazy pills.
All right, so let's get to our picks because we obviously think it's not going to be a big game.
I'll take the Steelers. This is the Steelers' chance to stay relevant in that division.
Let me ask you this:
No, you're not taking the Steelers.
I just did.
You're going to pick the Steelers. No T.J. Watt.
I will.
I think they have been historically bad when T.J. Watt is not in the game. And if you're giving Lamar any more time to move, throw, and do that, give me the Ravens. Sorry, babe. Love you. But the Ravens have been hot. They just beat the other in-state rival. They're going into Pittsburgh hot. And no T.J. Watt is a big difference because that defense for the Ravens is going to rough up old man Roethlisberger. And Najee is going to be in trouble because the Ravens' front seven is no slouch either. We were talking about Patrick Queen.
And that's what they're good at. Is fucking amazing, too.
Yeah. Hey, just real quick. I'm taking the Ravens, by the way. I think it's a no-brainer. What were the over-unders we just picked right there?
You had 40. I had 28. He had 26.
No, he had 41.5, so I'm putting 42.
41.5.
Oh.
All right, what'd y'all have?
I had 26. He had 28, and you had 42.5.
Currently, right now, out of Vegas, 44.
Huh. I still don't think.
I'll take the under all day.
I'll take the defenses and the under.
Extremely close to that. Not sure either way, but it's going to be extremely.
But you think the Ravens take it over the top?
I think. It's going to be a two-score minimum Ravens victory, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
All right, let's get through these pro picks because this college
Lamar
stuff
Jackson
is
just
up.
embarrassed himself and he's owned up to it. Do you think he's not going to come out and make pristine throws and decision making?
You think Mike Tomlin's not going to have the Steelers playing the best football game they played?
They
all
do
year
play to their
garbage.
They do play to their opponent, so we'll see. Anyway, yeah, let's move on. 49ers at Seattle.
Niners, like you said, Russell Wilson don't look good still.
Yeah.
And that team is in disarray. Something's going on top to bottom there.
I think the 49ers are figuring it out right now. Give me the Niners.
Yeah.
Denver Broncos, Teddy Two Gloves going into Kansas City.
Give me Teddy Two Gloves.
Wow.
Love it.
That is aggressive.
That defense looks great.
Jeez.
Patrick Surtain is finally playing NFL caliber ball. I feel like the Denver Broncos, they're not going to win flashy, and the Chiefs aren't flashy anymore. It's going to be a dirty, dirty game, and I think that the Broncos edge it out.
I am looking very seriously at this game. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout victory, but I am going to take the Chiefs off of a bye in a rivalry. I really think that he's gonna be able to pull it out. Give me the Chiefs.
Same for me. This was an easy pick for me. Honestly. I mean, Broncos D is good. It is.
It is. It really is. But Travis Kelce's Travis Kelce.
Yeah, and the Chiefs are coming into stride where they should have been the whole year, but for some reason they had this weird stutter start at the beginning. I think they're back to the Chiefs they were last year and the year before.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a cruise for them.
Nice. And then this is the big one Monday night. This is that big game.
Boy,
I was supposed to be at this game.
This is crazy game.
We were supposed to go to this game. Shout out to Buffalo. We were supposed to go to this game.
And
now,
I know,
see, in my opinion, I think this is the game of the week. This is my game.
100% agree.
And it just so happens they scheduled it for Monday. It couldn't have worked out better for the football advertising gods.
It's as if they knew how it was going to go down.
Yeah. Oh God, there's the tinfoil hat sitting across
Here
from
we
me.
go.
I'm just saying. That's it. I don't know.
Here we go.
The most perfectly plays Monday night game ever.
So I have my favorites. I have my people that I want to win. I have people that I picked preseason. Buffalo was that pick. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, that defense over in Buffalo. They were my pick. They were the guys that I was really saying, you know what? The AFC, it's not belonging to the Chiefs anymore. It belongs to the Bills. And this is a big stinking game for the Bills.
What a game.
I am still sitting here fighting with myself in my head because I think Mac Jones could piece them up and have a really, really successful game and win, especially with the way that New England defense has been firing right now. For a rival, I think they could give them trouble. But I picked the Bills. I'm staying with the Bills. We're on that train. Give me Josh Allen at home taking the Bills to victory.
I'm so sorry. I had also taken the Bills in the beginning of the year. I'm like, oh, Super Bowl, you got this. But after the recent play the couple weeks, and they can't run the ball. Belichick knows they can't run the ball. It's over. It's going to be too one-dimensional for that defense and Belichick to get ready for. They can't run the ball. Matt Breida isn't the answer. Singletary isn't the answer. They're going to shut down Josh Allen. They're going to make this team say run the ball or bust. And I do not think the Bills can run the ball. And I think Matt Jones is the ultimate game manager to keep this game close. It's going to be like 17-20. It's not going to be anything big.
I want y'all to notice right here on my paper. See this little mark?
Yeah.
I made that like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Because this is I'm reluctantly picking the Bills. Right?
Me too.
I still think that if they win, it's not like their backs against the wall to win. I think it's they have to hold off the Pats.
Hold off the Patriots.
I
agree.
I think they really have to do that. Like I would say they're winning by 10 or less.
I think it's going to be closer than that. It's going to be Kicker's game. Nick Folk's going to have a big day. He's going to have a big day to win.
Like 10 or 7.
Nick Folk had 20 points for me last week.
Clutch. It's going to be Tyler Bass versus Folk.
I still kind of think it's going to be the Bills cruising because they're going to score. They're going to answer, and I think they're always going to be up by that touchdown.
Could be snowing at this game.
Might get a little weird. Might be tied for a little bit. A couple stalled drives, but going both ways, but they're always getting that first touchdown.
Bills' offense has been so streaky. Yeah. They're either scoring 40 or scoring 7. And if Bill can unlock that that offense, and he can keep them to less than 14 points by, like, say,
definitely going to be a great
quarter.
They're going to be a must-watch game. After championship weekend in NCAA football on Saturday.
Holy shit.
All right, so that's a good point. Let's take a break, and we are going to jump into that here in just a second. We're going into the big coaching changes, the top 25, a little bit of a review for last week, and then we're going to pick our champions. We'll be done. See you in a minute. Oh, my goodness. And we're back. College football. It's been hard to keep a lid on, honestly. There have been things going on. A lot of coaching changes. We've got the top 25 going on in the background here. We're going to kind of react to that live as well. Nella was just talking about how high he thought Utsa was going to be on the list.
And then they lost last week badly, too.
Yeah.
North Texas. What? Come on, Roadrunners.
So, Lincoln Riley officially announced that he is scared of the SEC. He has no intentions to play in the best conference and try to play with the best and recruit with the best. He'd much rather go somewhere where their in-state rivals, UCLA or Oregon or Stanford.
And he doesn't need to do much to be ranked a champ.
Before we just stomp all over him without knowing the inside information.
Oh, here we go.
Is there any other reason why he would take that job over LSU in the money?
It's easier in the Pac-12 right now.
Exactly.
It's not really a great conference.
No, because LSU is going to back the truck up to whatever coach they hire, hashtag Brian Kelly.
$95 million in those trucks, might I add.
Here's my question. So you're willing to pay 2 coaches for the next 10 years? Because you're going to be paying Brian Kelly's replacement. You're going to be paying him and still be paying a 10-year, $100 million contract. I don't think Brian Kelly can hang in the SEC.
I actually think this is Brian Kelly's moment to put up or shut up. I posted it in the group too. Brian Kelly, you always talked about how it's so hard to recruit for Notre Dame and how you need to have both academics and this and that. Now is your chance where you don't have those strenuous rules that you do at Notre Dame. Put up or shut up.
But you pick,
and that's going to be very interesting to see.
Notre Dame's had a lot of
You
talent.
picked the worst one to go with.
He said in the past that his recruiting against Bama and Georgia is that they can recruit players that he just can't. You need to have a certain GPA and the religious stuff. The constraint.
I mean,
the way to get into the university, you still have to have standards or whatever.
You mentioned that about the religion, and our good friend and listener of the show, AB, who's also been on with us, said he was recruited by Notre Dame for baseball, and they never mentioned religion.
But
one
GPA.
Time. They certainly mentioned that, but
it could be religion. I mean, honest, I don't know.
Hey, listen, he's probably not wrong. I just haven't looked it up. But Vanderbilt, for instance, has much higher requirements to be able to be accepted. And you can't just give special accommodations. You have to meet a minimum, and Vanderbilt's minimum is much higher.
Stanford, same thing. Some of these universities that are just all about academia.
And they can't bend or break those rules at all. That's a big no-no. So that actually is true, but...
And he said that on record.
But at the same time...
I can't get no dumb kids.
I mean, he didn't say dumb.
Here's
he just
the thing.
said that
At the
there's
same
certain requirements.
time, what was ever done to wow anyone? Because you can find talent out there and turn them into someone that's good.
Okay.
Oh, coaching can overcome talent.
Like anytime you say that it's because of this or that, no, that's saying that why are you a coach then?
I do not.
You're basically what, a scout? You have an eye for talent?
I do not believe that Brian Kelly is worth 10 years, $95 million.
By the way, the bottom 21 to 25 has been released. 25, Texas A&M dropped from 10 to 25 after getting whooped by Ed Ogeron, who said he's moving to Destin. And then 24 out of being not ranked, Ragin' Cajuns, who just lost their coach
To Florida.
to the University of Florida. We got 23,
Smells
University
like
of
McEwen
Kentucky.
all over again.
Kentucky, who just extended Mark Stoops for several years.
Smartest move ever.
Good for him. Good for you guys. Then we've got Arkansas at 22, who's
Love
up from
them.
25.
They're a big
I love
up-and-comer.
And then Houston,
Who's got
sitting
the
at
game
11
of the year for
and
me.
1.
Absolutely has the biggest game coming up.
And I am totally behind the Cougars.
The Cougs.
I
Go
wanted so
Cougs.
bad.
I want two things. I want Cincinnati to go into the playoffs. I do. Because I'm ready for everybody who can't shut up about these crappy programs.
You mean like UCF?
Yeah.
When they
that
won
get
the
up
national
here,
title?
and then I want them in the playoffs so they can get absolutely whomped
Where they're
by
gonna
one of
get
the
it.
big teams.
They're going to get it.
Oh, I hope
Because it's going to get extended. 'Cause
I want that.
This is amazing. What the college football has been able to do with this playoff thing, it's going to get extended. I can't wait. I'm
I
excited.
want that
or expanded.
just almost as bad as I want them to get destroyed by Houston
Yeah.
so that Bama can stay in that playoff.
I don't disagree. I want Houston to whomp them for a couple different reasons, but I think they will. But
That is one of the things we need to happen.
Let's go back to the coaching.
Yeah.
We talked about it. Raging Cajuns.
Lincoln Riley. And then we got the Ragin' Cajuns head coach going to Florida. I'm sorry, gang. I don't know much about the Ragin' Cajuns other than looking at him right now to see they're 11-1.
He has
So
built
this
the
guy
program.
has clearly got some talent. But I thought it would be a higher profile name. Here's what I don't want the Gators to do. Bring this guy in and then sit him down and let him have 2 years to make Florida a national champion
I don't think that'll happen.
before they fire him. I mean, granted, Dan Mullen really stunk it up.
You can't fault them for firing Mullen.
Not anymore.
Not at all. He was a flop.
Yeah.
He was
Big
supposed to
flop.
come in and turn this program around and bring it to Spurrier days. They were talking about him having Heisman-winning quarterbacks,
Yeah, Trask.
more than one. That's what they were expecting.
Yeah.
And look at what is happening.
And that's what you're supposed to do at Florida. You
I
don't
really
agree.
don't think those big names
He
wanted to
fell off a cliff.
Yeah. All right, so we've got 20 through 16. Clemson coming in at 20.
Who Georgia barely beat.
San Diego State
Pride of the Mountain West.
at 11-1.
Just
NC State, the ACC spoiler boys, at 18. Utah coming in at 17.
The Pac-12
Both
killers.
9-3. How the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, Utah beat Oregon.
and
How does
then
9-3 work?
then we
Didn't
got
just beat them, though. Didn't just beat Oregon.
Yeah. Then we got Wake
badly.
Forest. Wake Forest coming in at 16. Clemson. Clemson is one that I think is going to be pretty good going forward. Hopefully they figure this stuff out. But the drop off between, Deshaun Watson, and then you have Trevor Lawrence, and now you have this young man. It's a steep drop off at the talent at quarterback.
I want to understand why. Like I would
Boyd.
love to hear a very good interview of Dabo Swinney where they ask him the question, why was the drop so big so fast?
Yeah, between your quarterbacks. Yeah.
What happened? Like,
just
what
missed
did
something. They
did
just
you
missed.
bank on a whole lot more than you should have, and were overbalanced or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? I'd love to hear that point of view on it.
So for any of us that picked New York, Danny Dimes ruled out for that game. Just so that you're knowing that playing the Dolphins, that is an even more solid pick. So, anyway, so yes, absolutely. I would love to hear from Dabo to see why the program had that. Was it so many guys drafted out of the top and you just didn't have the depth to replace them? Yeah. What was it?
The main reason why I want to hear it is because you're not going to get a bunch of fluff with him. He's going to tell you.
Yeah.
He's going to tell you. He's going to say, I wanted to go this direction. It didn't work this way. I did this or did that, whatever. You're going to get the real answer on that, because look at how far that is.
Yeah.
A good powerhouse for what? 4 years? 3 years or 4 years? 4 years?
4 years, because Taj Boyd was pretty good.
4 years, because we went back and forth with them in the championship 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
So then they had another 4, I think.
Well, in the playoffs. We didn't play them in the championship 3 years in a row. We played
playoffs or championship. We played them 4 years in a row in the playoffs or championship.
I have a question about this coaching shit and how it's going on now. Before, most coaching jobs, you lost them after the season. Right now, it's before the season, before championship week,
before bowl
games. If you're a guy on Oklahoma, and you know Lincoln Riley's leaving, or Louisiana, who has a big game next week, and your coach didn't even wait till the end of the year to fucking sign, how do you feel? If you're Notre Dame,
how do you feel? You're going to go into a bowl game, possibly the playoffs,
without your head coach.
Without your head coach.
And then here's another thing. Look at the recruiting situation in Oklahoma with that Malachi kid leaving Oklahoma to go to USC with Lincoln
already.
Riley.
And Spencer Rattler gone from Oklahoma.
Gone.
Where's he going to go? Does he go visit
UCLA.
Brian Kelly?
I think he goes to UCLA.
I'm still calling you LSU. I think he would much prefer to go there. High-powered offense is what Brian Kelly's known for.
He's not the quarterback that Brian Kelly wants.
I don't disagree with that either. But here's 15-11. We're going to stop before we get to 6 through to number 1 and make our predictions on that. But number 15, we've got the Pit Panthers. Then having dropped after a big loss, Oklahoma at 14.
And sneaky Iowa. Look at them, man.
Iowa sneaking back in. Depending on how this weekend shakes out, they can get back into the top 10. Iowa is at 13. BYU sitting at 12 with Michigan State rounding it out at number 11.
Still amazing for a program that wasn't supposed to be anything this year.
Yeah.
Still considered rebuilding.
Yeah. I don't know. Iowa, I think, is a sneaky team going forward, period.
They had that 2-week little bump in the road, and other than that,
Iowa's that upside.
Pitt's been really good, too. That's a big game they got this week, too.
Big Ten is really starting to shape up, though. Michigan State, too. I mean, Michigan, they've got to be in everybody's top 4, top 5. I mean, it really won't matter. They really have done a lot. But, back to the Notre Dame thing, they've got to be up there, too.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I mean, and now you're right. They've lost their head coach, and they're getting ready to go into a very serious situation.
It's just not fair to the players who are there.
No,
you should announce after. This is just bullshit.
Yeah.
Because they were even, I was reading an article, they were asking Billy Napier, like, are you going to coach this championship game? Because they have a big game this week. They're in their conference championship.
Yeah.
So I'll say this,
and like the bowl game then doesn't matter. Like, it's just bullshit.
Here's
for the players that are there.
Here's
now.
my thing about Notre Dame: the actual, as of right now, before we see this released here in a little bit, the top 7 are Georgia, Ohio State, Bama, Cincy, Michigan, Notre Dame, Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
I honestly think that Notre Dame stays right there at 6. I don't think they move anywhere at all.
You don't think they've proven anything to move anywhere?
Well, you have Ohio State moving. You got
they're going to drop out.
They're going to drop to 8.
Right. Yeah. Well, we can get into that.
Yeah,
we can go. You want to? Let's do our predictions for what we're about
I've
to see?
still got Georgia at number 4. No, I'm kidding. Georgia's obviously number 1. They're the clear-cut favorite. That's not going to change on anybody.
No, not unless something happens this week.
Then when you go to number 2, honestly, I've got to go with the Michigan Wolverines beating Ohio State. Even though it was at the Big House, I've got Michigan sitting at number 2.
Okay.
What about you, Nello?
I've got Georgia, Michigan as well.
Yeah.
I've got Georgia. I've got Michigan. And then at 3, I have Cincinnati.
Okay.
So you think Cincinnati has done enough to stay at number 3?
Absolutely. They're still undefeated. There's only 2 teams in the country that are undefeated now, and it's Georgia and Cincinnati.
I've got Bama at 3.
I have.
Of course,
I have Bama at 3 as well.
I don't know. I don't even think they're in my top 4.
I definitely have Bama at number 3, beating a good Auburn team at home. I mean, I love that game. That rivalry took several years off my life, but good God Almighty, that was rough.
We'll talk about
I'll take winning the first ever overtime Iron Bowl in history.
That's
4 overtimes. I'll take it.
That's a little bit of that vinegar on the burn.
That's right.
That's what that is.
But either way,
Number
it was a
4.
tough game, but we won.
Yeah.
Number 4, Cincinnati.
Cincy. Yeah.
I can't put them any lower than 4.
Oklahoma State.
And I could survive with them higher than 4.
What did you say?
Oklahoma State should be 4.
You have Oklahoma, so you have Cincy at 3 and OK State at 4.
And you have Bama dropping to 5. Gotcha.
They win, they play.
They beat an SEC
as of what they're releasing tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't disagree.
All right.
Because I said this before we press record.
Right.
Bama's path to the championship is not being ranked number 5.
No.
It is facing Georgia in the SEC.
Look, Ohio State 7.
There
just
you
like
go.
we thought.
So just go 10-7 real quick. We've got Oregon at 10, Baylor, I think a well-deserved Baylor at 9. Ole Miss jumps up to number 8, and Ohio State down 5 spots
I don't
from
know
the
why
number
Lane
2
Kiffin would
down to
ever-
number 7.
Why would Lane
All
ever
right.
want to leave that job? I just don't get it.
I don't understand either. I think it's a great spot for him. I think Miami is more his lifestyle that he wants.
Man, shut up, Lane. You don't even know damn
Number
lifestyle.
5, I've got Oklahoma State. That's my pick at 5.
I just think Bama last week played themselves out of the playoff. You cannot call them a top 4 team when you got Oklahoma State beating teams that are in the top 10.
I don't understand this logic of yours. You're just acting as if Auburn is this lay down nobody
That's
team.
not what I said.
When you've picked, but so you're calling them not a quality win when we beat them
wasn't.
at home.
Auburn's defense is good. They shouldn't hold Bama to 10 points.
They didn't. They held us to 33 points, of which we won the game.
It was
22.
Sorry,
22. It was
22.
10. It was 10-0 in the fourth.
Sorry.
Listen,
Was it 10-0 in the fourth quarter?
Listen, it is what it is.
I
They
just
won.
answered the
They won.
question. Okay.
Look.
Let's
Very disappointed.
No,
very disappointed.
We're not going there.
Disappointed in secondary.
Was it not
disappointed in the
10-0
offense
in the fourth quarter?
until the last drive?
Listen,
Bama played like absolute garbage.
I don't care.
Until the last drive.
it was 10-0 in the fourth quarter. You are Alabama. I don't care how good
They
Auburn's
got the job
playing.
done.
There's no way that can be
They got the
accepted.
job done.
There's no way that a team
They got the
that
job
good
done.
goes into Auburn, who's having an off year. Can't argue that either.
They got the job
Without
done.
their starting quarterback in Bo Nix, and get held to 10 points in the fourth.
Do you have Bama
I
at
wish you
5?
held Penn State to such lofty goals.
Yes, me too.
I do. I don't think you can blow leads like that
Because I'm
both
pretty
to Michigan
sure
and
You don't
Michigan
talk
State.
about
I'm pretty sure you celebrated and broke one of my pictures when Penn State beat Auburn in a whiteout game at home.
Sorry, Megan.
If you held Penn State to the level that you're
I do.
trying to hold us to Bama, you would be in a constant state of depression the entire football season. Nobody want to be around you.
No,
you would
this
just
is-
be.
You can't say that's not true. And
They're so
Oklahoma
terrible.
State's win.
Come on, man.
Hey, you they were such a stout defense,
All right.
one of the top defenses in
Who's
the country
your
when they
number
played
5?
you.
Who's your number
Oklahoma State. They just beat Oklahoma.
All
They
right.
definitely deserve
I
it.
agree.
They're going to a
So Nelly, you got Bama there.
I
Number
got Bama at
6,
5.
I've got Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. They're the 6th best team in the country.
yeah.
All right.
Maybe you could
that's
argue
kind of an
Baylor,
agreement.
but
They,
like
they don't make any arguments to move up.
All right.
But-
Let's see what happens right here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
But here's the thing that I just still don't understand is the whole Brian Kelly thing. I just don't get it. You're going to the worst team in the SEC to try to recruit because you're already trying to compete with the recruits from Alabama, from Georgia, from Florida. At this point, even in your own damn state with Oklahoma and Texas. And in 2 years, Oklahoma and Texas are going to be playing in the SEC and getting more of those great talented kids. So you're competing with everybody.
They're surrounded.
There's really no way for them to win the recruiting battle.
You have LSU here. You have Texas A&M here. You
Yeah.
have Arkansas right here.
which is coming
You
back.
have Ole Miss. You have
So
Ole
obvious
Miss,
number
Mississippi
1,
State,
Georgia.
Bama.
Yes,
Yep, of
this
course.
surprises nobody.
Why would he leave 2 of the top 10 classes in the next 2 years to go to LSU?
Michigan number 2.
We knew that.
Michigan
We
at
knew
number
that.
2, we definitely all called that. And this is where it changes. Number 3, I think we see Alabama.
I really think Bama goes out of the top.
But you know what? I'm still
look at how fast they went from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
And now it's like, let's hold here because everybody's thinking exactly what we are.
But anyway, so he's got to deal with such a recruiting woe.
And he's leaving
in
the
LSU.
top 10 recruit classes 2 years in a row at Notre Dame.
I just don't get it. Is it the balls on him, the lack of balls on Lincoln Riley? Or did you think
This is bullshit.
Bama's in at number 3?
This is so stupid. This is so stupid.
I'm telling you, you are not giving our opponents any credit. You never give Bama any credit anyway. I shouldn't be surprised. But
I'm not.
I don't disagree with this. I think Michigan definitely deserves to be number 2.
Are they going to screw Cincy?
Yeah.
They're going to screw Cincy?
Oh,
put
no,
him
no.
at 5?
Cincy's right here. Cincy's at 4.
Yeah, since he's coming at 4.
Yeah. And then we're going to see who those hopefuls are. That's the real one. Oklahoma State might. You thought so? According to you thought Oklahoma State was going to be right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I still think they come in at 5th.
I think we're still there. We're not that far off between 4 and 5.
Well, we don't have many choices at this point. But you were already wrong. Your bracket was busted at number
we know
3.
how it's playing.
I just don't believe Bama should be 3.
You
4
never
or 5
did.
is fine, but
That's
not
okay.
3. Not after last week. Sorry.
I don't either.
You guys
I
barely
think they should be
beat
4,
Auburn.
but I'm
10 points to the fourth quarter. You guys were bitching to hell to high water about Bill O'Brien needs to get fired, this and that.
Again,
Yeah, he
you're
does.
missing the point.
Yeah, you're missing
I
the
think
point.
Bama should be at 4, but we were picking our predictions on what they do.
Yeah.
Oh, they are just dumb, so I don't really need to listen to that.
These experts that get paid to do college football for a
They
living,
run
what do they know?
conferences. They run athletic conferences.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's all about
But they don't know.
it's all about where ESPN wants to put its money.
Mother of God.
Then why am I picking Cincinnati at 4? Then why would I pick Cincinnati at 4 if I'm
Because you
predicting
said
them
it
for money?
yourself. I want an unranked team.
Oh,
to
look
make
at that.
Oh,
Cincinnati
there
at
it
4.
is.
I want to see these small ranked teams make it so that way they can get stomped.
And at this point, it's not going to happen because Houston's going to take care of them this weekend.
Whoa! Did you really just say that?
I did.
Do you believe in that?
Standing
Yeah,
up.
well, there you go.
For sure.
Here we go. Oklahoma State. So it looks like I was right.
Oh, me too. Look at that.
Oh, man. That's really weird.
And then Notre Dame.
And they're
Safe
off.
there.
They're
Look at
off.
that.
They can't play anymore.
Exactly.
Look at that.
So do you know what
That's
Notre
why
Dame? Notre
they're
Dame
going
needs
to
Cincinnati.
Hey, that's why they're going to stay at 6.
Yeah. And this is going to be an interesting one because the
why I
only
said
way they go up, and this is a good chance, is if Cincy drops and Michigan drops.
They need 3 of those
'Cause
teams to lose,
Michigan has to take on Iowa for the Big Ten championship.
which is not a gimme.
It's
Kurt
not.
Ferentz is never
It's
a
a
gimme,
tough game. And then you've got Cincinnati playing an 11-1 Houston.
which is a really good defense, and
Yeah.
it should be very interesting.
It's
game.
going to be an interesting game. I'm not trying to say that Cincinnati is, this horrible team. I don't think so. I just think that they're not as good as everybody's thinking. I think they've been very lucky. They've been also very good to win some games. But the only team that they've beaten up here that I'm like, oh, okay, is Notre Dame.
Houston's winning.
Yeah.
I'm calling it.
What
So-
happens if Bama wins?
So okay, let's talk about that.
Let's get
Ranking
on it.
wise,
Let's
hypothetical. We're not saying
let-
Bama wins or loses. We're not picking the game yet.
let's
Just
talk
like
some what
hypothetically.
ifs. Let's talk some what ifs.
If Bama wins, they jump to number 1, and I think Georgia
Absolutely.
drops to number 2.
All right, here's my thing. You have the number 1 team in the nation, undefeated. You have the number 3 team in the nation, 1 loss.
At a very tough Texas A&M at home.
But even without factoring that in, let's leave that. Hey, let's strike
Poor
that
showing
jury.
at Auburn.
Strike that jury. Let's go. Hold on, let me finish. And you can't drop them below 2, and you have to move Bama to 1 because now you only have Cincinnati with their weak ass schedule as undefeated. Now you have Bama still 1 loss, just beat the number 1 ranked team in the nation into their undefeated streak and won your conference championship. In doing so, you have to go 1. Now, Cincy 2, maybe if you want to just throw a bone.
Yeah.
But here's why that's not going to happen. It doesn't matter because 1 and 4 are playing and 2 and 3 are playing. So whether Georgia is at 2 or 3, it doesn't matter. So it's going to be Bama 1, Georgia 2, Cincy 3. And if Michigan wins, they're 4.
I'll tell you what, there's no way
Or, excuse me,
that-
Michigan 3,
that
Cincy 4.
Georgia
If
drops
Michigan
out of the top 4. But we could be talking
can.
silly talk. Georgia could absolutely destroy us. If that
Bama's out of
happens,
So let's just
then
assume
Ba-
this.
if
I
that-
think a Bama loss, even if it's close, they're out.
yeah.
I do.
Who? Bama?
If
Bama loses, it's done.
Let's say Bama loses by 3 points.
Over.
It's over. We're
Sorry.
out.
Bama's out.
Yeah.
That's it. It doesn't matter how.
So I'm going to say Georgia takes care of. Georgia gets the 1 to 2 seed no matter what happens, even if they lose.
100%.
Even if they lose, they still get 1 to 2.
Right.
Now you're banking on Michigan beating Iowa. I don't know if that happens.
They do, that we can talk about options. If Michigan loses, but then how many layers deep are we going to go here?
It doesn't.
Now what if they all
doesn't.
lose? What if Michigan loses, Bama loses, Cincinnati loses, Ohio State can lose to Baylor? What happens?
Then who's our number 7?
Mine's Ohio State.
Yeah.
Ohio State goes up like it's too jumbled of a mess.
Michigan State.
It really could be a mess.
So, like,
if Michigan,
But that's not going to happen. We're see, that's what I'm saying. We don't need to go that many layers.
Yeah.
We just need to say if Michigan loses, who moves up?
point is,
Either Oklahoma State, Notre Dame,
Oklahoma
or LSU.
State.
as an Alabama
Notre Dame
fan,
only moves up if Oklahoma State loses. Notre Dame has no game this week.
I agree.
They're off.
I agree.
If Oklahoma State brings the Big 12,
Or if Michigan loses.
and one of those teams loses, one of those top 4 teams is losing.
yeah, that's
Right.
happening.
Yeah,
That's
we
happening.
know that, yeah.
And if
I
it's
think two of
Bama, Bama's out.
I think there's two.
just no saving them.
So anyway, let's go into
Rivalry
we've done
week.
those scenarios. Let's talk about rivalry week. Let's take a really, really quick break. Last one of the day. Then we will be back for championship week of college football. See you in a minute.
What?
All right. Here we go. We're going into championship weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
But first,
But first,
rivalry week.
rivalry week.
Oh, boy.
That was a rough week.
Okay, it cost me a good bit of money.
Yeah.
I reinvigorated my lesson learned to not bet Bama football.
Oh, boy.
So that's that.
Are we just going down the line with these or what?
So the first game was Thursday.
I want to go straight into the Iron Bowl. I want to just get this, rip the Band-Aid off.
Okay.
No, we can't do that.
Yeah,
no,
we
no,
can.
no, 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 no.
we
Let's
absolutely
go.
can.
First
No, we
game was on
absolutely-
Thursday.
Already did it.
The Egg Bowl. The Egg Bowl. That's a big game in the SEC. Ole Miss versus Mississippi State. Come
That
on
is
now.
not a big game.
That's a great game.
outside of their fans.
That's a great game. Lane Kiffin.
It's
Come on, he got them to 9.
Why do you think it's on Thursday?
This is a big game. 31-21.
Why is it
I
on
called
Thursday
over.
still?
It missed
Yeah.
by 6.
You want to know why? Because it doesn't draw any ratings.
I mean, Lane is your next guy.
Nobody cares.
Will you please respect him at Ole
Nobody
Miss, where he's
I'm going
not
to
leaving?
disagree with you wholeheartedly there, buddy.
Outside of their fan base,
Yeah.
nobody cares.
So we're going over last week. I thought we were going over next week.
We got to go over
No,
some
I
of the
wanted.
games.
We got to talk this Iron Bowl. All right.
All right.
Hey.
We got about 5 minutes to talk Iron Bowl.
New overtime rules. Weird, right?
I like them. I like them.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I like them.
It gets the game over with. Except for if you're Penn State. And
Okay,
you play
let's keep
the
going.
Longest game in history.
I just don't like them.
and still find a way to fuck up. But I still think that it was a good game. They played better than we did.
It was a great game. It was an instant classic. It will go down in the annals of history.
For sure.
But Bama played like garbage and played so beneath themselves. It hurts. It was painful.
I am the guy who now screams at his TV that I hate Bill O'Brien. I wish he would go anywhere he wants, just not Bama.
You guys
he does
thought he was going to
not
Bob
how
Tech.
to play this game.
Golding's got to go too.
That's a piss poor performance.
If it
against
wasn't
Auburn.
for the sheer unhuman-like talent of Will Anderson,
Yeah.
our defense would be not like mediocre. Honestly, I got to be honest with you. They
Yeah.
would be close to like you're not elite anymore. You're coming down some rungs,
Yeah.
and we would have lost another game at least in this Iron Bowl.
But we didn't.
It's tough, man.
But Bryce Young has nerves of solid steel.
dude, that drive.
And he completed passes when he needed to. We converted some really crucial third downs.
Name a bigger drive that you can think of if you put yourself in Bryce Young's shoes. You've got playoff. You've got your rival. It's the Iron Bowl. This is you. You've got 90.
he's never played in a playoff.
I
though.
do have one.
But
have a bigger drive.
no, what I'm saying is, you lose this, playoffs are gone.
Yeah.
All of that shit on your shoulders. They've been stuffing you all game.
I think that scenario you're talking about is going to happen this week against Georgia.
Well, here's what I'm saying. I'm
talking
talking about the Iron Bowl. You're Bryce Young. You have to go the entire length of the field, basically. Let's call it that.
Yeah, the only bigger drive I can think of is coming in at halftime against your SEC rival and a national champion, replacing a national champion, and having to drive down the field and throw it for a touchdown
to a
win
magic
it as time expired. That, I think, is the biggest drive. Because, yes, all that stuff is on the line for Bryce, but literally the championship was on the line for Tua.
I mean, that's Tua magic.
So. Yeah. Well, now, he was there basically. He was more than just that drive, though.
No, I know.
In the game.
But you were talking about the importance of a drive. We were down, threw the ball to win.
But he brought us back from down. You got to remember, he scored, what, three touchdowns?
Yeah.
Right? Or at least got 2 touchdowns.
Bryce or Tua?
Tua, but led the drive that maybe we had a rushing touchdown. I don't remember every score and play, but he brought us back from halftime on. But
to win as time expired.
Right, which is nerves is still crazy. But that drive just, I don't know, man. That's crazy that they
My
did
God,
that.
you're putting me to sleep with this Bama hard on shit.
I never saw it coming.
Give me a break.
Dude,
you guys look like crap. You guys aren't going to win this week. Let's just stop right here. The playoffs is over for you.
Let's talk about Penn State beating Michigan State.
We didn't beat them. We should have. They were decrepit, but we did.
Wait.
But we've been out of competition, but I don't want to hear this.
So you're right.
No, give me a break. Bama's not going to the playoffs. They're not beating Georgia.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
They're not beating Georgia. They're not. It's just not going to happen. And I know deep down inside in your heart, no matter as hard as you want, after watching that Iron Bowl, you cannot tell me you actually believe they're going to beat Georgia.
Let me ask you a question. Who is Penn State playing this weekend?
Nobody. You know why? We sucked at the end of the year. Okay. We did. James Franklin.
Because you're not good enough to play in a conference championship.
They gave James Franklin as much money as they did Brian Kelly at LSU.
But
hey, who's Bama playing this weekend?
You ignored the point.
Who's Bama playing this weekend?
Georgia. Who's Bama losing to this week? I got you. Georgia.
Bama's playing the number 1 team in the nation. Penn State is watching the game.
Yeah.
Crying that the best part of that coaching staff just left for Virginia Tech.
Jeez Louise. Are we getting into picks this week? Is that what we're getting into?
What about Florida State? Did anybody watch that game last week?
I watched a little bit of it. Florida, this is another thing. I talked about this with the Florida State guys. Like, listen, man, you guys may match for the first couple drives in terms of talent, but Florida's going to keep pouring talented players onto the field, and it's just too much for Florida State right now. It's not a rivalry right now. I mean, the Florida Gators just own them.
They're both pretty terrible.
Here's the thing, though. You run into these scenarios where you're going through coaches, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at now, Mullen's gone so quickly. If you follow other programs where they'll bring in a coach after a successful one, and then they fired quickly. It takes a while to get that back till you just get lucky or something. You find somebody. They're both faced with that. They're both losing commits left and right. This is, I think we're about to see this Florida sports dominance deal in college football take a big hit for a while.
It already has, if you really think about it. Florida's really not been great.
Miami, Florida State. This is year 1. Jacksonville, Tampa being Super Bowl champions, that thing that's keeping them off the falling off the cliff.
A&M is the most winning program in Florida.
You basically, you leave Tampa. I mean, the Rays shit the bed early but you leave.
I'm not just saying they're not. I mean, they're lesser talented, but I'm just saying they have the most wins in the state of Florida.
I guarantee you, if you put in front of any recruit in this entire country, you put Florida, Florida State, Miami, and Florida A&M. Nobody, unless they have family that went there and they are really sympathetic to the Rattlers, because there are people out there like that. But you send it to any team in the country, I bet you your majority winner is the Florida Gators.
Are you not surprised?
Followed by a medley of Miami and FSU. It's not even one of those as a clear-cut favorite right now. Florida is still the top dog.
Lane Kiffin goes to Miami. Within 3 years, they're a powerhouse.
Agreed. 100%.
Scoring up and down the field.
Are you surprised that Florida State nor Miami fired their coaches?
I'm really surprised Florida State's coach is still working, because he's had the worst of it.
They both look like crap.
They got to give Manny Diaz another year, but You know, it is what it is. But
aren't you surprised Norville's still there? I mean, you lost to Jacksonville State, by the way. Proud of Alabama.
Hey, maybe they're being smart. Maybe they're going to give him a chance to actually build something. Maybe they like what they see.
Maybe he's got a really convincing argument behind closed doors. But let's get into picks, huh? Let's talk about
We should talk about Oklahoma State last week. That was a great game, too.
No, we really shouldn't. What we should talk about is Michigan, Ohio State. That's what we should talk about.
Shit. That's true.
How about the fact
Oklahoma State game went the way it should have?
That you, which is giving me even more confidence as time ticks on, picked Ohio State to get the khakis dirty
and burn those sons of bitches, and I was wrong.
Your prediction has come wrong again, and somebody who's known to some of us, Scott Sweet, came in and was like, look at that, the Nello curse. And then our good buddy Brett, who's the big Georgia fan, said, please, God, don't pick Georgia. And you are.
I am. 120%. But that Ohio State-Michigan game, man, that defense, Wolverines' defensive line.
First time in 6 years that Michigan has been able to win.
It's the first time they've ever played in a Big Ten championship game. That's mind-boggling to me. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
That's crazy. The first time ever in a Big Ten championship game. And they can lose because Kurt Ferentz is really good.
They could lose because Iowa is that team to upset them, especially if they're coming in riding high thinking, we got this in the bag. Yeah. If you sleep on Iowa, they will put you to sleep.
I think they know. Iowa's one of those upsetters that I've said it.
Well, not to
Iowa,
mention,
NC State, they've both proven it.
It's a championship game. It's a championship game. If you're not ready, I don't know what to tell you. But I think Michigan is in a really good position to win this game.
So you guys got Michigan?
I do. Yeah, I have Michigan.
You got Michigan?
This one is really tough for me because I don't have faith in Michigan taking this game as seriously as they should. But this is also not the Michigan of old. So, yeah, give me the Wolverines. I'm going to give my faith to them thinking they can do this, but it's a tough one.
This past week's performance.
They're lucky it's not in Iowa. If it's in Iowa, I'm going with the hot guys.
This past week's performance and just, Harbaugh's got his eye on the prize now.
Give me Kurt Ferentz in Iowa.
We knew it.
I don't know. Michigan doesn't.
Iowa?
I'm going Iowa. I don't like Jim Harbaugh. I don't understand. I know they single-handedly beat Ohio State, but Ohio State's really been inflated.
Okay. So let's move on.
That defensive line played lights out.
All right, let's get some easy ones out of the way. Western Kentucky and UTSA.
I have no faith in UTSA. They broke my heart last week. Give me Western Kentucky.
I've got
this
UTSA.
Is a tough one. I'm going to go with UTSA as well. I think they'll go ahead and rebound. Western Kentucky isn't anybody that scares me on the schedule.
I actually put up points.
I put about 7 seconds thought into that one.
They put up points. I'm telling you.
I just wanted to say UTSA. Oregon versus Utah. Now, this one right here.
Yeah.
Give me the Utes, baby.
Tough game.
Yeah, defense.
I am taking Utah as well. Very close game. I believe they're basically -3 favorite. I'm assuming it's a neutral site.
Yeah, it's a neutral site, and I can't not pick a Utah in this one.
They're a true 3-point favorite. I think
I mean, it's tough. They're not ranked as highly as Oregon, but I don't think Oregon is going to be able to hang with them. They're going to need to be effectively running the ball like they did against teams like Ohio State and really be diverse on offense if they want to beat Utah.
Yeah.
Big 12 championship. The biggest game Mike Gundy has ever coached in is happening this weekend. Oklahoma State.
And chances at the playoffs.
Yeah. Because someone's losing. Yeah. Alabama, Georgia, someone's losing. Yeah. If they win, they're in. Right?
Alabama's the only one who could lose and give them a chance.
If Alabama beats Georgia, then Georgia and Alabama stay there.
Yep. If Alabama loses,
has to lose.
Then you're right. Whoever wins this game is going to have a good shot.
Oklahoma State has to win. Alabama has to lose.
I actually would say that either one of these teams could jump up into the playoffs. Or not Baylor, because
Baylor would need a lot of help.
Baylor's at 9. They would need a lot of help. But I think they could do it.
I got Oklahoma State. I think Gundy's been coaching amazing. He hasn't really done his Gundyisms. I like Oklahoma State.
Me too, especially after beating Oklahoma. I think they're going to be streaking. How about Kent State versus Northern Illinois?
Hold on.
I have the same. Okay, State.
Okay.
I think that's an easy pick here.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I just closed my eyes and picked one, and I took.
I honestly think it's not going to be that close of a game. It's not going to be like a blowout or anything crazy. I just don't think Oklahoma State's going to be that pressured. I really don't.
Their defense is really good. They're going to have to stop that Baylor run, and that's going to be a tough ask for anybody.
Okay, so your Golden Flashes or your or is it the Wolves?
The Wolves or whatever. The Wolf Pack. You mean Northern Illinois?
I'm taking Northern Illinois.
I'm taking Northern Illinois as well. I could give a shit who wins this game.
Now at 11-1.
Sorry, we're at this point in college football. I give a shit about if they win the MAC championship.
Now the Mountain West is next. The Mountain West championship. And San Diego State's got 11 wins. They win
State's easy.
They win this championship. Do you think maybe they can get that top 4, top 5?
Sorry, Mountain West.
I'm just telling you, Mountain West.
But I agree with you. I think San Diego State wins that game. They beat the Utah State, but
did we all take Northern Illinois? Is that what happened?
Yeah. And then Appalachian State versus Louisiana in the Sun Belt.
Let's go App State.
Let's go App State all day.
Give me Billy Napier and the Louisiana
Raging
Cajuns.
I forgot about that. I really did, and he stayed to stick around and coach at Louisiana. No, App State, I think, is going to have that game.
They're ranked.
So too.
They're ranked.
App State's going to handle business. All right, Nello, I want you to lead this one off.
Georgia wins. That defense is too good. If Auburn can do that to you, what's the Georgia defense going to do? If Auburn, which is a good defense but not nearly as good as Georgia, can hold you to 10 points in 4 quarters, Kirby Smart can blank you guys.
I will say
I'm not saying he will.
I will say this. To your
can.
point, Alabama in this game is now the Auburn of last week's game.
Yeah, for sure.
So that matters. That matters in how hard they play, decision making, all that stuff. And we'll see.
And they see everybody picking Georgia.
Yeah. I mean, they're a 6.5 point underdog. Bama is.
Yeah,
6.5 point underdog.
That's a lot.
When's the last time Bama was the underdog?
And it's going to go up.
Time.
It's going to go up by game time. It'll be 7.5. Could be even.
I
8.
think the last time we were the underdog was when we played Georgia in the national championship.
If it goes over 7, I would be very surprised.
People are going to start hitting Georgia hard. I just don't see how Georgia has.
Jack,
no.
What do you think?
We've talked about this. We know my opinion on this game. I think Alabama is definitely the underdog. There's no doubting that. But I say this too. This will be the toughest team that Georgia has faced all year. They have not faced Will Anderson. They have not faced people like Tim Williams or Robert with the number 8. Can't remember his name. Robert Metchie, thank you.
They got to worry about Will
Robert
Anderson
Metchie.
and 2020.
They've got a lot of things that they haven't seen.
Defensive tackle for frickin' Georgia.
Have you seen
99?
That's okay.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Have you seen Evan Neal, the 6'7", 360-pounder that can do the jump?
He's so fast for a 300-pounder. Have you seen some of his videos that have him chasing quarterbacks?
He could jump.
Athleticism through the roof.
And his big ass could jump over your head.
I don't care how big Evan Neal is. That defensive tackle is good.
Listen, you may not care, but I guarantee you that Georgia offensive line cares.
This is another thing to you too, Nello, is you always pick against Bama and you always look for the big reasons and you don't allow yourself to see reason on the other side. You want to convince yourself that you're right. And I don't think you're necessarily wrong about Georgia being the best team in the country. I'm just saying that Georgia has not played a caliber of team like Alabama.
Has Alabama?
They have not seen Bryce Young. They have not seen Tim Williams. They've not seen Robert Metchie. They've not seen Henry To'o. They haven't seen some of these players. Listen, let's talk about Georgia's success as well.
Don't sleep on Slade Bolden.
Let's talk about Georgia's success and their ability to run the ball
Trey
down
Sanders
everyone's throats.
Let's just say
he left off a few names
real fast.
Let me finish my thought. So that's how they do. They win by just beating you in the running game, and they have a subpar quarterback who's serviceable, who can make some throws. But if Bama can find a way to shut down the running game, which they haven't always against Georgia, if they can find a way to shut down the running game and make that kid win, it's going to be a lot closer game than you think, because everybody is writing Alabama off against this Georgia team, and that is historically very dangerous. And if a team was to challenge Georgia and beat them, it's this Alabama team. I don't consider them the favorite, but it's not unrealistic to think that they could win the game.
If you thought that Jimbo Fisher's defense was tough and Auburn's defense was tough.
None of those matter anymore.
Because I'm going after what you're saying.
None of those
Bama
matter
hasn't
anymore.
played anybody as good as Georgia either.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
So that argument's for both of
I'll
them.
tell you
I
this.
just think Georgia's better.
You know how throughout the season Saban has said several times that Bama gets everybody's best, and it's been echoed throughout talking heads and everybody everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that really understands and really knows, Bama gets everybody's best. You want to knock that guy. It's lonely at the top, right?
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
wants
yeah.
to knock you off. I think that this is where Saban and as much as I hate Bill O'Brien and Pete Golding, I don't hate them, but I very much dislike them and would like them to go. I think it's fine to hire someone else and give it a shot. It can't get much worse in my opinion. I think this is where they come to shine.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a very tightened up program that doesn't make dumb mistakes, doesn't make dumb penalties, better play calling, I think, on both sides of the ball, and I think a lot more activity out of our secondary than what we've been seeing.
Yeah.
I really think that.
This is going to be a tougher game than people think it's going
Yes.
to be. This pick for me is absolutely a heart pick. If I was betting my mortgage or my wallet and I was trying to play smart money, yeah, sure, I'll give Georgia a run for it because they're an excellent team. But no, I think my boys can pull it out. I'm going to go with Bama.
I am going unbiased just from what I've seen. And as much as it hurts and as much shit as I'm going to get for this,
Oh, my God.
I am taking Georgia because I truly believe
Holy shit.
that
Someone
they
call
are the
hell.
better team on the field and are going to win this game.
Someone call hell. It
much
must
as
be
it
fucking
hurt-
cold there.
As much as it hurts to say it.
I am going to be so happy
you
to
okay?
be.
Are
I'm
you
gonna
okay right now? Yo, is this
Yeah.
who the fuck is this guy?
I'm going to be so happy to be the guy that upsets both of you if we win.
I fucking
And
hope.
Are you
I
okay?
really would hate to be Brett in our group if Georgia loses this game because I know people are going to let him hear it because every week there's been a post about how good Georgia is.
I would love
We'll see
love
it.
to see me
We'll
be
see it.
wrong.
And
just to
hope
see
he
I'm
won't
Brett
be.
get some
He
shit.
won't be because he'll say, "Oh, we'll see you in the national championship," and he'll be right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing we can do. Give me Bama. I don't know.
All right.
I have a feeling Ryan's picking Georgia too. I think I'm the only
I
guy
think
on
you're the
Bama.
only guy.
Here-
Houston, Cincinnati. This is that
This is the other big one.
controversial game that makes Oklahoma State.
I'm
so
telling-
This is the biggest mover and shaker of all.
I'm telling you right now, Houston's beating Cincinnati.
I have Houston too. I just don't know why.
I just don't. I'm so torn on this because I want to see Cincinnati go into the playoffs and play a big dog and just get eaten. I want that in my heart of hearts, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to go with Houston as well. I think Cincy falls at a neutral site playing a really tough Houston team.
It's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be a really close game.
I can't believe this one. Let's finish out the show with these three.
Oh my God! Prairie View A&M versus Jackson State for
It
the
hurt
SWAC.
reading this.
This is,
Yo, come on! This is an important game. This
Jack
is a game on
State,
Saturday.
I'm going to pick the who cares.
Jack State.
I'll pick Jack State because it has Jack in the name.
Coach Dion, the next coach of Florida State.
Pittsburgh, Wake
Jesus.
Forest. I got Pitt all day.
That's
Yeah.
a tough one. That's
Give me
a tough
Pitt.
one.
Give me Pitt.
oh, it ain't
Pick
even tough for me.
It's a tough one, but Pitt has the better quarterback. That's why I'll go with Pitt.
I think they got it all day.
And then Michigan, Iowa.
We
Ooh.
already picked that.
I
Yeah.
know.
We got
but
me, you, and Michigan.
That's a rough one.
I still can't believe you picked Iowa. And I love Iowa as an upset team, but I just don't think it's this time.
I do not think Jim Harbaugh's as
I
good
think
as
them
everybody
khakis stay fresh.
thinks. Nah, they're gonna get burned.
All right. All right.
Get them khakis dirty.
Hey, USC versus California.
What a war cry.
USC? I don't know.
I picked California.
I'm taking Cal as well. Yeah, I think they're going
There
to
you
be
go.
all right. USC, Lincoln Riley's not going to make that big of a damn difference.
No.
Well, he's not even
not
there
week
yet.
one. But, Yeah, that's going to do it for us. I think that's our picks for this week. It's going to be crazy next week.
Hold on, let me get something in.
I hope everybody out there, we missed you last week. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family. We're so happy to be back. We're getting into crunch time in this NFL, in this college football. Now's the time where these games really, really matter. So I'm going to sign off and hand it over to you so you can have your send-off that you want. But
hey,
we'll talk to you next week.
I have some listeners and cousins in Pennsylvania, Angelo, Ray, and Gennaro. What happened? Inter Napoli, Inter 3-2. Forza Inter, Amala!
Nope. You want to translate what that means?
Love Inter whooping that Napoli ass. I don't care if Napoli's first. Inter's coming.
Inter is coming.
What the hell was that? Roll Tide.
Somebody go tell King's Landing that Inter is coming.
Beat that Bulldog ass.
I go all day.
Bro, Dad.